Get started, everybody. We'll call the study session to order. Jeff, any announcements?
Yes, Your Honor, we do. Todd Dickman in the Recreation Department.
Is Dean coming?
That's right. Now that Glenn put pressure on me, I feel like my announcements have to be A+ all the time. But I just wanted to remind everyone that this week, a couple of events going on. On Wednesday night, we have our breast cancer walk that will be in Young Patriots Park around Reflection Pond, starting at 4 p.m. Suggested donation of $5 to walk. There will be some different organizations out there, and all proceeds from the event will go to Corewell Health Hospitals in their fight against cancer in the area. So if you can come out this Wednesday, October 15th, that would be great. And then also
Todd, not to interrupt you, what time does it go to? 4 to what?
4 to 6.
4 to 6.
Yep. And then this weekend, we are going to have our Fall Festival, which is going to be a great little family event in the park from 4 to 7 p.m., which we will have some petting zoo, hay rides, trunk or treat presented by the fire department in the park, some pumpkin decorating. And then when that all those festivities are done at 7 p.m., we will have a movie in the park, which we are going to be showing The Nightmare Before Christmas this year on that. So if people get a chance to come out to Young Patriots Park on this Saturday, the 18th, that would be great. And we'll also have some food trucks available too.
Thank you, Todd.
All right, thank you.
Chief Owens?
And now,
I like the voice. It's
Do
fun.
it. No,
I'd just like to announce that on September 30th, our brand-new ambulance was delivered to the station, and the following Tuesday, it was lettered, the radios were installed, and on Thursday, it was actually put in service. So it is up and running. Tomorrow morning, we have the official state inspection, but the new ambulance is up and running, and it's been in service since last Thursday night,
Awesome. Thank you.
test off the stretcher.
by all means. And that's it.
Thank you, Chief.
Change it off now, or
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, Shane Harrison, would you mind coming up and talking about the election and the canvassing and the whole bit so that...
Yeah. Threw me on the spot.
Yes, I apologize. So, as many of you guys have known, in the charter, I believe, Randy can correct me if I'm wrong, it states that typically council is sworn in the first council meeting following the election. So it's like, I don't know, November 17th this year or something. Well, a ton of rules have changed with the elections and going forward. People now have 5 days after the election, or up to 5 days, 4 days, I apologize, I don't know the dates off the top of my head, to fix signatures that weren't put on AV ballots or cure, and move ballots get a 6th day. So that means typically they would have until the Monday following the election to to correct those errors, and their ballot would still be counted. And then I would take those ballots to Wayne County where they would be processed. Typically, that would be the next day, that Tuesday, but that Tuesday now is a federal holiday this year. It's November 11th. So they couldn't get everything from precincts and be able to start their canvass to certify their results until Wednesday the 13th, or I'm sorry, Wednesday the 12th, which means the turnaround time of them certifying our results is about 3 days before we would swear in any officers or new council members. That's very tight, and they can't promise me that they'll have that. So it's been a thought. I don't think we should swear in anybody, obviously, until we have the certified results, is to possibly push that second council meeting from the 3rd week to the 4th week, which would be November 24th. It would be the Monday before Thanksgiving.
Probably a good idea.
Is everybody going to be in town?
Yeah, that is the Monday before Thanksgiving.
It is.
November 24th.
Yeah.
Fine by me, I'll be there.
I'll be
I'll be
here.
in town.
All right, well, then at least that's what we'll plan to do until we hear something different beforehand.
Okay, thank you.
Shane.
Which we just kind of heard about this, and we did not know about this until today, so it's not like,
Oh, yes, it was just,
Okay.
you know.
Certain that we're pushing it, or is it just?
Well,
Down.
90%, unless something changes from the county, then we'll just plan on the 24th.
And that is all I have, Your Honor, with announcements.
I got one thing. I would like to invite Pastor Ryan Nisley from Grace Church up to the microphone here. I met with him last Friday. Obviously, had some discussion about the non-planned, planned event, whatever you want to call it, for tomorrow. So I think the pastor just wants to give a little bit of background how we got to where we are.
Yeah, thank you so
Pastor.
much. Mayor Swift, City Council, my name is Ryan Nisley, lead pastor of Grace Church, located at 17760 Fort Street. I want to start out by thanking each of you guys for what you do for the great city of Riverview. We appreciate each of you. I want to talk about the Charlie Kirk event that is planned for tomorrow night at Young Patriots Park by Adam Taylor. Adam and his family attend Grace Church, and Adam talked with me about wanting to hold an event in Charlie Kirk's honor. I thought it was a great idea and encouraged him to run the event. Again, this event is being run by Adam Taylor. Adam was trying to get all the permissions necessary, but he did not know that the special events application states, return this form to the recreation office at least 30 days prior to starting the date of the event. Grace Church has always filled out special events paperwork and provided liability insurance to the city as required by the special events form for the events sponsored by Grace Church. We are also thankful to the city of Riverview for approving these events in the past and have been held on Riverview city property. I don't think people always understand the reasons or maybe even the policies and why paperwork needs to be filled out, but I do understand liability insurance coverage and the importance of knowing what is happening at the event to make sure that the requested space and times are available. When Adam Taylor said that someone pulled out from the event as a sponsor, that was myself. My goal tonight in sharing this with you is to say that tomorrow night is not a Grace Church event. This is an Adam Taylor event. I will be there and have been asked to speak. This is not a political rally, but a night to honor Charlie Kirk. He was martyred for his faith in Jesus Christ. Candles will be lit tomorrow night, reminding all of us that light shines brighter even during dark times. Our community, city of Riverview, and nation needs hope, healing, and peace. And I welcome all of you to come tomorrow night on Charlie Kirk's birthday to Young Patriots Park to remember his life. God bless all of you.
Thank you very much, Pastor. With that, we got 2-1, discuss resolution support of the Downriver Community Conference and the Michigan Land Bank to advance the cleanup and future redevelopment of the Arkema property and other targeted riverfront brownfield sites. John.
Yes, Your Honor. I know you're well aware of it as you sit on the brownfield. I know that Councilman Webb is well aware of the land bank. This is a way to force Arkema into doing something with their property. When the Michigan Land Bank takes it over, they pierce that veil with trying to talk to them to try to alleviate their future liability from the land. And what I mean by future liability is they'll need to clean it up to the purposes of what the land was designed to be, an industrial site. So to get any movement, cities, counties, states, they move properties into this land bank, and this land bank is the intermediary between the city and the owner of the property. So we were asked to join the land bank. I know Wyandotte is joining the land bank for their section, and
Yeah, this is a Wind-Up Riverview thing.
it is a Wyandotte River. They've already done this, and so all that the DCC and the brownfield and the land Michigan Land Bank's asking is that council approves this resolution so they can go forward to pierce that veil with Arkema and start the cleanup process.
Yeah, they need, this gives, I guess, help with the legal authority of, at first I thought they were just gonna take management of the property. They're actually gonna take possession of it. And at least that would be the plan. If they can take possession of it, then they can manage the cleanup. Now Arkema will still be liable to pay for the cleanup, but they don't have to waste their time, as they would consider it, doing whatever it takes to get the cleanup done. This will all be managed by the land bank. So their incentive to do this would be, there would be removed from any liability of, whatever the EPA or Eagle, whoever finds there. Arkham will be fined for it. They'll just have to pay for the cleanup of the stuff. So we received a template for the resolution, which I massaged to make it applicable to Riverview. So that's kind of what we're looking for if we ever have a next council meeting. Well, this will be at the election night council meeting. We'll have the vote to approve this, and then we can get it sent over to the Downriver Community Conference, and they come forward to the Michigan Land Bank. So that's kind of where we stand. Any questions?
I have one, Your Honor. When this takes place, do we lose ownership of that property?
We don't have ownership. We don't want ownership of
Okay.
it. Obviously, we want somebody else to own it.
Yeah,
And
I just
this-
want to make sure we weren't,
And what it'll do is, that's a good question, what it'll do is, it will help get the cleanup done in sections with the West Brinefield first, that's the part closest to Reno, that'll happen first. And then the big cleanup would be on, if it's East Brinefield or the West plant, where the actual plant was. That will be cleaned up later. But just to keep everybody, I've also been informed that the dredging of the river has to happen first before where the West plant was. And they don't anticipate doing that for a few more years.
or 27
And
at the
something like
earliest.
that. And by then, it's predicted, they planned on taking that dredge stuff that they picked up to Point Muley or whatever the dump is. That's predicted to be full before this can happen. So that's gonna throw another wrench in the process. But we just want people to know, they're all baby steps, but we are working to get some type of cleanup done there. And it won't be in my lifetime, but I'll do what I can to, or we can do what we can to make sure something happens. So that's what the background of this is.
Thank you.
Any other questions, Brian?
So the purpose of this motion is just to give our consent for the land bank to move forward with those discussions with
Yes,
Arkema,
yes.
correct?
Yeah.
And then pertaining back to the Point Muley is, I've read that they're quite close to being full on space, that they could take the waste for the dredgings. And they're talking like with the Army Corps of Engineers of ways of building up either berms or more space for them to be able to accommodate the dredgings from the Trenton Channel and other
Mhm.
projects along the river. So in that article, they had mentioned the possibility of taking some of those clean dredgings to landfills. Have we approached them about using that material for capping? Is that something we could do?
Well, we would definitely entertain that. But we'd have to, any kind of soil that we bring in for final cap has to be tested. So as long as it
And probably
meets the
can't
core.
be tainted, that would be tainted material, wouldn't
No,
Yeah,
it?
they-
no, this was untainted soil that they said is in that containment zone.
As long as this, they don't use tainted, but the word that they use, what we use in landfilling is called impacted. Is it free of impact?
What does that mean?
Contaminants, impact.
Okay. Well,
Free of impacts.
Yeah, from what I'm understanding, there is soil that is free of contaminants that would be excavated
And
and
we'd
then
be,
would need to
we'd
go
be,
somewhere.
Mhm.
yep, we'd be interested in that. We're interested in all clean
Put
dirt.
that on your radar then?
Yep, I'll put it on my radar.
Anything else, Brian? Anybody else?
It's not what I meant.
Okay, thanks. We will move on to 2.2. Discuss the amending the zoning ordinance for the city of Riverview to repeal and readoption of section 24-06, accessory structures and uses of Article 24, general provisions to add a provision for the development of on-site battery storage systems. Dave, come on up.
Thank you.
It's just researching this.
Good evening, everybody. Yeah, we brought this up. We have a draft ordinance in front of you. The reason we brought this draft ordinance is we're getting more and more questions about folks getting EVs and things that they want to put battery storage systems in their homes. We don't have an ordinance to even reflect those. So we wanted to take a look, see if we should have one. First of all, if we do get one, what the criteria are. There's two types of battery systems, battery energy storage systems. One's called on-site. That's the one where the battery that they put in there serves the actual residence, apartment, business that it's on. It's not for anything other than serving that business, storing it so they can use, you have stored electricity, so when the higher rates come, they can borrow off the battery. There's another one called off-site systems. These are the ones that everybody's used to seeing. That's ones where you get like 20 acres and they got trailers lined up and things like that. We're not touching that one right now. We don't have a need for it. There's also, in the state law, there's a section that the state can review these without any type of city input. And so we didn't see any need at this point to move forward on that. We
Would
just
that
wanted
be
to move
similar
forward.
to what Trenton's doing?
Yes,
down
it's
there?
off-site, that's what
Okay,
Trenton's doing.
right.
So when you say without city's input, they can mandate it or allow?
Yeah,
those
they
type
got
of
their own
facilities without
ordinance at the
city's-
state, and if someone comes in with a large system, if we have an ordinance in place, they can look at it, they can either go along with us, or else if they don't like the ordinance, they can actually go to the state and go around us.
Supersede the city's.
Supersede. The only difference is if you have an ordinance, I forget what the cost per megawatt per hour
It's a revenue source for the city if they go
is
with
a
us.
lot larger if we review it. I think I have it lined up. Oh, wow. This is the document we're using, it's put out by U of M, and we've been following, they've been going around the state doing some training. So that's the part we wanted, the draft ordinance itself in general will allow on-site systems, accessory uses, they have to still go through site plan approval process from an administrative standpoint. Again, that's not finalized yet, we just we've put some draft together, trying to go by what we were, what we've learned about the best way to manage these. The request for the council right now is to send this to the planning commission for review. They would review it, they look at Mike Hurley's or Randy's office, we work together on the draft, they would review it, they would possibly change it, modify it, they're gonna hold a public hearing, and then send a recommendation back to the council. So that's what we're here, we're not looking for any adoption tonight of this draft ordinance, we're just seeking your direction to send it to the planning commission. They can put it on their November 6th, they already got it set up for their November 6th agenda.
Dave, what if for some reason, as a community, we didn't want to go do something like that for whatever reason may come up? I missed it, where you said the state superseding.
That's for an off-site. That's for the really large ones. Right now, we've had a couple go in already, but they've been internal. They kind of look like a skinny refrigerator. And you put them in the internal wall. So we had the electrical code, we've been following that in the building codes to put them in because they're inside. Now, if someone, I've seen some little larger ones, they kind of look like HVAC systems or generators or something outside. And we want to be able to have a review, make sure they're not near someone else's windows, that they're screened properly, and that's the primary purpose at this point. Now, if we looked at the large ones, but it gets so complicated with state oversight and things that we just wanted to hold off and make sure we took care of the residents, small businesses, things like that.
Okay.
Sounds like a plan.
Do we
Any other
have one for
questions?
like the home generators next to people's houses?
Yeah, we do, yeah, we've
Okay.
got one already for generators, HVAC systems,
Okay.
screening requirements.
Dave, I have a quick question.
Go ahead.
So the larger battery systems, have you guys ever seen a battery fire?
Yep.
Yeah.
What concerns me, and I'm just going through the ordinance, I'm concerned, do we have the capabilities to fight one of the larger battery fires?
A lithium ion?
Yeah.
No. Pretty much nobody does though.
Yeah, those are,
Yikes, yikes.
and I'll be honest with you, just being a safety guy, that's, whenever I see the battery energy storage systems, that scares the hell out of me, because if that goes, fighting it is just damn near impossible. So I'd like to see in the ordinance some type of preventative measure. I'm looking and I see that they're to be kept neat, free, let me get back down to it. I apologize. basically saying that, you know, they're gonna be kept neat and free of refuse and waste and everything like that. I'd like to see in the ordinance, you know, just a provision that addresses the fire hazard.
Or even Dave, whoever has one, if there is a fire, they participate in the cost of putting it out, something
Yeah.
like that.
I mean, those are,
Yeah. And I mentioned that because we had a
Insurance
landfill
coverage.
meeting before this, and they had a lithium battery fire. And is,
Jeff's here.
Jeff's here. You want to just speak to it real quick, Jeff?
Yeah, so we had one of our customers had dumped a pallet load with a 3,000-pound time bomb EV car battery underneath the pallets.
yeah,
Started to smolder within a couple minutes.
yeah,
Caught on fire a little bit. Luckily, we caught it in time, had the water truck right next to it, about 300, 400 feet from it. Doused it with 5,000 gallons of water to cool it off.
Yeah.
Never put one out.
yeah,
Took the loader, took it off the top of the hill, brought it down to ground level. That's where we have it right now. It's a 3,000-pound plus electric vehicle car battery, 7 feet long,
yeah,
5 feet wide, 2.5, about 2 feet tall, weighing over 3,000 pounds. It's not like somebody can pick that up and put it into a dumpster.
yeah. And like you said, it's, all you're doing is cooling it off, you're not actually putting it out. They're pretty vicious. So, in the ordinance, I would just make sure that we're addressing the fire hazard because they are devastating.
Once it's installed,
Go ahead, no, go ahead, Brian.
once it's installed, is there an annual inspection or any reoccurring inspections to make sure it's still, you know, meeting code and
We
safe?
could, I've seen some ordinance that we could add that in there about inspections if someone wants one.
Yeah.
What I'm finding out.
Someone wants
we-
one, but
we-
is it not, well, is it?
Mandatory.
Part of the
Required.
ordinance, or is it required? Can we require
Yeah, we
some
can-
sort
we
of
can put that in there.
continuation
Yeah,
of
we can.
inspection? I
Yeah, we
mean,
can.
maybe not annual, but I'm sure there's.
There's got to be some time frame.
You're right. I'm sure there's a cost associated with that
We can
inspection,
put that
right?
in
So
there.
don't want
Yeah.
to make it cost prohibitive, but we also don't want any surprises.
Until at least you have some experience on how they react.
Right. And if I may, just ask our landfill director to go a little bit further about that battery, as discussed in the landfill meeting, about the disposal of that and the costs associated and how we're going to handle that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, as soon as waste gets our land at the landfill, we own it. So we have I've got 3 quotes, getting 2 more quotes. It costs for one battery, $10,000 minimum, upwards of $13,000 to $14,000. Because that battery has to be shrink wrapped, it has to be packaged properly, it has to be put in a wooden crate, it has to be put onto a truck. There's a lot of costs that go into this. As I'm really researching it and learning a lot about it, that it is a hazardous waste. So all of a sudden, I want this off-site. You know, first and foremost, it's a safety item. But now you have the cost to get this disposed of and recycled. Recycling facilities range from Canada to Ohio to Arizona. That's why transportation and shipping costs of electric battery are very expensive. Cell block 70 is what the material's called. It's like plastic, ground up plastic with glass that uses as a cushion underneath the battery when it's packaged and along sides of it, and that's designed for transport safety on a truck. So that battery, if you don't mind, that battery itself, that 7-foot long, 5-foot wide battery, has at least 1,300 to 1,600 smaller cell lithium batteries inside the battery itself. That's like a firecracker chain. So that's the importance of it.
Thanks, Jeff.
Jeff,
But
so once it comes to us, we own it, so to speak, you said? Is there any fallout for this particular customer?
Yes, there will be. Yep.
Extreme
So
fallout,
no
'cause
longer a
that's-
customer of RLP, and we are going to have recourse after we get it off site.
I do not want that crap around here.
That was my
Brian.
questions. Those are my questions.
Okay.
Yeah, that's.
Anything else, Dave?
No, I was just gonna ask, have Jeff, you contacted Randy to follow up with, okay, that's what, I figured as much, that's unreal.
Okay. All right, thanks.
Okay.
Thanks, Dave.
Sure.
Thanks, Dave.
Thanks, Dave.
2.3, discuss the extension of the current contract for the citywide advertising with Go Big Multimedia LLC for 3 additional years through February 28, 2029. Jeff?
Yes, Your Honor. Go Big Media reached out to me and submitted a letter. It appears that he's got a couple additional cities coming on in the near future. He has an opportunity to buy trainloads of paper at a savings, and he would like to pass the savings on to his customers, so he just said at no additional cost if we consider re-upping for a few more years, so.
A few more being 3.
3. Yep, I'm sorry.
And
3 years.
And just so, because I know people may ask, what do we pay now? What's our expense here?
Currently, it's $13.76 a month, and that gives us 2.5 pages, and it's $13.76 a month for the school district, and we get billed for the total, we rebill the school district, and they have paid in full. They were behind because we were behind in billing, and they had a large balance due. They've all totally paid up. And however, there's months that we have our two pages of information, and with all of our flyers and all of our events, the library uses the paper, recreation uses the paper, the senior center, senior department uses the paper. It's not uncommon for us to have 3, 4, 5 pages additional each month. However, I did look at, since council has instructed me to review the bills, count the pages, and reconcile all of that, it's working out for 12,000 residents. It's working out 47 cents a resident a year. I'm sorry, per month. 47 cents in 2022. It was in fiscal year 2023-24. It was 51 cents a month. Fiscal 24-25, it was 29 cents a month. So it bounces around. It just depends on how much content we have in the paper. Now, one thing I'll say about content, our flyers and our library programs, our recreational programs, our senior programs, if it's something we're promoting in the city, we pay for it. But if it's a story, a recap, or a story of some kind of event we had, that doesn't count towards our total. The mayor's column doesn't count towards our total of 2.5 pages that we pay for. Not only do we, historically use more than 2.5 pages, so does the school district. There's many months that they are using way over their allotment as well. So.
And they pay for anything extra like we would?
Absolutely, it's the same agreement.
So have we done any homework on, 'cause there's been questions in the past about, do we have to publish our minutes in the paper?
Well, we have to publish them per charter requirements. We have to publish them. Define publish, some people say just put them on the website and the board. Well, a lot of the residents don't come to City Hall. And a lot of our residents, being such a heavy senior population, don't go on our website. They use the paper as their one communication. We couldn't mail. In our budget, if we had to pay for one mailing a year, that would be the whole total with the postage cost alone at $1.15 for that paper if we created our own paper.
But that does meet the requirements to have it published here.
I don't know that. I mean, that's kind of the question.
So if they choose not to, that's really,
Yeah.
we've done our part.
Sure. And the other thing is, and I'm just gonna be frank honest, we're gonna use that paper. Either we use it and pay more and budget more because we gotta get our events out. If we don't get our events, participation will be second to none if we don't advertise our library programs, our rec programs, our senior programs. We're going to use it. This is just a way to have a contractual agreement to use it at a lesser cost.
I have a question.
No.
Do we have any way of checking how many of our residents are going online to read these articles versus reading it in paper? Like, can they check their traffic and let us know?
We can, I can
Like, how
request
many
that.
hits is the Riverview Register
Yep.
getting on
Mhm.
their website? Since we have digital available to us, I don't know how many people are actually checking that.
But I think to Jeff's point is that with the heavy senior residents,
Oh, I'm just
they don't
kidding.
go online, but
I'm
that's
just
probably
wondering,
some good
yeah.
info to collect, yeah.
But if you're paying for the 2.5 pages, whether it's online or being delivered, I'm assuming
Yeah.
this price is the same. So
Absolutely.
it doesn't really matter,
No.
right?
I don't think so, but I've just gotten a lot of feedback that everyone's online, even seniors.
My mom
And
is,
so,
and she's
yeah,
80.
I know. So I just wanted to know how many hits they were getting, or if
Mhm.
nobody's really going to that site because they are getting it in paper.
Yep.
Just curious. I want to see.
Okay, very good. I can definitely find that
But
out.
You mentioned the seniors also publishing that. Is that through the recreations budget or do they have their own budget?
Mhm.
And then when you mentioned the breakdown cost per 12,000, that would be per residence, but how much would it be per household? Because it's not delivered to every resident, just per household. Well,
4,200 versus 12,000, so, you know, I do the math, so
it was like
a dollar for.
$1.20 or something like
Yeah,
that last
dollar,
time.
yep,
Last year we talked
$1.30,
about it.
something like that, sure.
Okay.
Yep,
It also includes the apartments too.
It
So,
does,
you know,
yep.
There might be, I always say there's like 4,200 water meters.
Right.
So, but that, we have, what, 5 or 6, apartment complexes.
and again,
So, yeah.
purely up for discussion. It's not, it'll come back at a later date. I just wanted to bring it forward when a vendor of a city service provider brings me something,
Mhm.
it's my due diligence and my fiduciary duty to bring it forward to council, that's all. Yep.
One
Go ahead, Brian.
question we all frequently get is, some people don't want it and would like to see more of a subscription base. Has there been any conversations with Register about the possibility of subscription base so people pay
Nope.
for it?
Well, but no, I'm not gonna speak for him, and he's
Right.
not here, but, the whole point is the paper's free to everybody. Subscription implies paying for it. And that's why they get the big coverage, because it's absolutely free. And so not only does it come to our residents, it's put in every business, I don't know, 10, 11 businesses. So I think they advertise their total circulation is like 9,000 between the residences, and it gets picked up in the city. I know they go through a chunk of them here at City Hall. So there's a rather wide audience, and that's because the paper's free. So I think that's what kind of helps.
But I can tell you, and I will tell you, that every bill is scrutinized,
Oh,
every
yeah.
page is counted, and when they do make a mistake, I don't accept the invoice. It gets trashed, and a new invoice has to show up, because I'm not playing the game, well, you credit us 2 pages that you overcharged. No, every bill's got to be exact, so.
I do know that Jeff, however, a year ago, we put Jeff in charge of that to make sure everything is correct, so, yeah.
And all the
My
article,
one-
I'm sorry, Dave, go ahead.
No, it's,
But
And all their articles must go through Jeff now, correct? I know during the last study session, you
I don't know
had
if
mentioned that everybody.
Well,
was sending-
I'm aware of the articles
Yeah.
that are going to be printed on behalf of the city.
Yeah.
But like, if, the mayor's column, I don't have privy to that.
No,
and-
I mean, department heads are no longer sending.
Oh, no, department heads send to my
Yeah,
office.
that's-
Anything that's, like the library, they'll say, hey, I got my big summer program or winter program, Jeff, this is what it looks like. Are you okay with it? And we go through it. And Todd, every month, sends all of his activities to me before they're due to the paper, and we discuss them. And I say, 9 times out of 10, they're good to go, but sometimes I'll say, Todd, can't we wait? I'll have Mary reach out to Todd, can't we wait a month on this? We don't need this month.
Yeah.
And there's times where, I think it's not, a chargeable page because it's coverage of something and they counted it and we recreate the bill and take it off. So,
I think that was the other question you had stated, and it was mentioned last year as well, is if the article was written before the event, that's the city requesting or writing or
Correct.
publishing that.
Correct.
And then after the event, it would be the paper. Is there, in the order of transparency, is there any way of just getting an author who wrote the article, whether it be from the city or from the paper?
oh,
You
they
know,
don't do
contributed
that.
by, et
Yeah,
cetera?
they don't do that.
Well, I think that would be the easy one, I would think, if it's an article written by the city, then that should be, you know, if it's
Yeah,
from the
yeah,
police
yeah.
department, fire department, that should be easy
Yeah,
enough,
that would be
yeah.
very easy, but
Yeah.
like some of their articles, like they've covered the new carts at the golf course, they've covered the new fire truck, and they just have newsbeat, you know, writers that write for them. And sometimes they'll say, like, one of them is a guy,
Gorgon.
yeah, a guy from
Yeah.
Taylor that I know really, really, Dave Gorgon, and he's written the article, he's done some things for me, like he's done the fishing derby after the derby with all the kids.
Hank Mankiewicz and all that.
Yeah, Hank, yeah, right, so, yeah, I can get that, I'll have that.
I know we talked about at the last time we had this discussion when Mr. Evans was here.
Mhm.
I wish Dean was here, but in 2008, we had a newsletter, he said, that we canceled because we were trying to save a lot of money. I know none of us were here, Dean would be the person to ask, but.
Well, I remember it.
And then we canceled it due to making some savings. What really makes this that much different?
We don't pay for the postage. Postage is included into this. And it would cost us an arm and a leg if we just send a page out as 75 cents to 9,000 publications.
I just mean the cutting of cost, you know, then we were cutting costs and now
Yeah.
we're kind of in that same crisis mode and so we're trying to cut costs, so.
Well, I think for just my sakes of getting what's going on at the city out to the residents and to the businesses, I think it's a very good value and we use it quite well with, you know, it helps with the invitational, it helps with landfill stuff, it helps with golf course stuff, it helps with city stuff. I think it's a good vehicle, a good tool, but again, you know, I don't make those rules, you do, and if it's no, then we'll use it and we'll just track the costs and see what we have to use it for and things that I think are important we use it for. I know we're budgeted for our current usage fee, whatever that is, if that's 60 grand, if that's 50 grand, whatever it is. I know our standard 2.5 pages is only like 18,000, but we always have more pages than our standard.
But I think to answer and that's a good point you brought up. I think back then it was a quarterly newsletter. And I correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was like $6,000, and maybe it was even before your time. It was a quarterly, and the postage got so expensive. Actually, the recreation contracted with the Boy Scouts to deliver the newsletters.
It's
So
creative.
it was a creative way to try to save some money.
That was 20-some years ago, though. I feel like financially, $8,000 was a lot back then, just like,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
The point is
again,
that there was cuts made and there needs to be
Uh-huh.
cuts made, I guess.
I have a question. How much would it cost and how much time would it take for our website to be more updated and easier to flow? I get that's a big complaint I get is that it's hard to use. It seems, you know, like.
Yeah, well, I can tell you that,
And I'm not hating on IT. You guys
No,
do
no.
everything for us, and
yeah,
but I think that's been a long time coming.
yeah.
But again, that costs money.
Yeah,
So-
I know that there's an upgrade that we will need for the website, but there's also a lot of time for content, right? Because you gotta update the content.
That's what.
And Craig has worked, and I know that Shane has stepped up and done some work on the website, but it takes time. I mean, it's gonna take time. That's, you know, Craig's busy doing his
I
IT
know.
stuff, and Shane's busy doing her clerk stuff, and
But it's together
backfilling
in
into
this
finance.
because people are saying, well, instead of looking to the register for all of these things, we should just be following their Facebook page, going on the city's website and seeing these, you know, things flashed on there and
Yeah.
make it easier to work and easier to see. But that costs money too. So it's like, are we gonna spend $18,000 a year on a newspaper, or are we gonna spend 25,000 on someone that's gonna be in our IT department, you know, updating and answering questions all the time? So,
Well, what we probably need to do, what I need to do for that question is speak to Craig
of course.
and see what, you know, the upgrade in the platform of the website would cost, and then how many hours that someone's gonna need to work the content to reorganize the whole site and do that, because that's gonna be a dedicated manpower request, so.
Okay.
It would have to be dedicated.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm
dedicated.
saying.
Yep, have to be dedicated.
Yeah, I
But-
think one thing to remember here too is that that's the same 18,000 we paid back in 2018.
Yes.
So there's been no increase.
No increase,
In that rate at all.
Yeah.
So it's just something to consider. I think there's only one other contractor to the city who's can say something like that, Randy.
I think people are a lot more tech savvy than we give them credit for, honestly, so.
Yep, okay. Well, again, yes,
I was just gonna say, hearing your comments and also Susie's comments, I think Susie's comments was if we were to, not renew the contract, but with the intent of going back to a little more fiscally sound, is that more accurate? And you're saying that even if we were to cancel the contract, we would still use.
oh, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
That's the key to remember. So do we want to pay, let's say, the base rate of 8, say we just use the
6,000,
minimum?
yeah,
So
I think it's like, I think our additional page is like 658, something like that, but the standard page is 750 a page.
Well, I think it's more than
More
that
than,
now.
it's like
It's
1,020.
1,000.
Oh, 1,020 now. Oh,
So
back a few years ago, it was
So
750.
even if we didn't use it as much,
Yeah, full
we're
page
still gonna,
14.
at minimum, double or triple our cost for the same space.
So you're saying whether we say yes or no, you're
They're
still
gonna
gonna
use
use them
it.
so it has no, so that,
No, but I'll have to be, we'll have to
Yeah.
budget accordingly. You'll approve the budget.
but you'll go well over the 18,000?
Well, we'll have to see what will fit into that 18,000. We're over 18,000 now, Councilmember O'Neill. We are over
And
18,000.
that's a concern, because I think last year we brought up having transparency about maybe quarterly discussions about how much we've spent over the last quarter, so that we.
Well,
we
it's
have a-
in the budget. We budget a line item. for
I know
the-
it's budgeted, but how much we're actually spending.
Oh, you get quarterly report.
Yeah,
So
you
you
should
can
read
bounce
the
it, you
report.
can bounce
They're in there.
you can bounce the number against the
People are
budget for
begging for
the
that.
actual year-to-date.
So it's-
Ann, is that, Ann, are you here?
Yep.
Is that a line item for the register? Okay, yep, very good.
Quarterly done.
Yeah, and those are all very good.
Oh,
points
yeah,
to look at.
absolutely.
But
I agree.
What I have in the back of my mind is, let's say we don't do it, or cut back,
Yeah.
go back. It's, my opinion, it's definitely going to impact the participation on our rec programs, the library. It's going to impact them. And we, not only we make a ton of money on them, we break even on the rec programs, all that's going to be affected. And anything where it's timely, it'll be
Yeah,
impacted.
which
So we
is-
might be saving a little money, but we're
We'll
also.
pick and
not
choose
gonna
what we
bring
would
it in.
use in there. We pick and choose, and we'd have to budget accordingly.
And
Yep.
then with the rec department, when more people show up for these events, are they saying yet? Like, has anyone, 'cause I remember in the last video we asked, do people come in and say, I saw this in the register and they wanted to come? That was asked in the last meeting. Do you know if anyone kept track, even just listening, overhearing?
I know, Todd, when they register, Todd, you got a feeling of where they found that information out, correct?
We do not track where the information was found through that. It's not a question that we ask people. I mean, sometimes people do volunteer it, and it is through different sources. We get a lot through Facebook. We do get some for the register. We do get some through signage that we do outside. I mean, there's many different avenues that we find that people find our programs.
One thing I was hoping to have added to the paper, and I asked for it last year, is a community events calendar. I know the senior center publishes all their events, and there's the calendar, it's usually like 4 months in advance. Is there a possibility for any community organizations to be able to get a section with the calendar in there of upcoming events?
Well, if it's
Whether-
community events, then that would be us, and then again, you're just.
Well,
adding to the
nonprofits,
cost.
et cetera, if there's local nonprofits. the
Well, I know
churches or
the three I'm
whatever.
involved in don't have a budget to take out ads in the paper.
Right, but if there was just a calendar with a date entry of whatever, Grace Church is having an event on this day.
Yeah.
And they could submit that to the paper or to you.
Yeah, they'd have to submit it to me. I don't currently get any of that, but, I know what's coming up, like,
For city events, yes, but I'm
Yeah.
talking about for organizations.
well, I think and I think the paper has been very generous to outside
Absolutely.
organizations to put their stuff in.
They have
Didn't
been
have a-
generous to.
Didn't they have
some
Victory,
groups.
Victory Gym Golf Outing was in the paper?
No, it was mentioned in the mayor's article.
Oh,
They-
okay.
They didn't put anything.
Did I
in there
charge you
like
for that?
I think so.
Okay.
Okay, but they're good at that. If you let them know, they'll
Yeah.
put that, especially community things.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not disagreeing that there's articles and there's publication of those events. I'm just saying at a glance calendar.
Yeah, and some cities are so hard set on dates that they do it like January 1st, here's your new calendar for 2026. You're gonna have the comedy show on this date, you're gonna have the Easter stroll on that date. You're gonna have the Highlands Invitational on that date. But you know what? There's a person in that city that's dedicated to that. It all comes down to manpower. Who's gonna track it, who's
Yeah.
gonna do it, and who's gonna produce it. That's what it comes down to. It really does.
Reading in between lines, the answer is no.
We don't have it now, but we could. If they submit it to, I'll tell you what, anyone that wants to have calendar items put into a master calendar, submit it to the city
And
manager's
it'd be
office.
great for our city website as well.
Yeah, and I will get it all put in. I will have Mary help me get it all put into a chronological date.
See, I think that's also part of an updated website that's easier to use for the city. If a calendar just popped up and.
Yep,
So.
I agree.
What's coming next, right?
Yep, good idea.
So this will come back at some point.
At some point, yep.
All right.
Is this the only paper around that's an option?
It's the only paper. Well, there is the News Herald, so
Well, that
No,
was
thanks.
a thing I brought up before. Sometimes we publish our notices in the News Herald, which obviously we have to pay for, right? And I always,
we don't use News Herald anymore, do we?
No, we don't use, well,
100%.
Shane uses it
No.
for something. What do you use it for, Shane?
How
I know-
much the notification have to be published in the News Herald? And it's quite expensive, but
Okay.
as of right now,
Just give us just a small
page that-
breakdown of,
I would say for the 3 notices that I put in the newspaper, which one of them's maybe 2 paragraphs, and the other 2 are maybe a paragraph and a half, it's somewhere about $300 to $400. I have from a previous past experience, we had to post our ordinances in the newspaper,
Uh-huh.
and they could be, depending on what they were, I posted some that were $75, and I posted some that were about $7,500. So they're not cheap. It's not cheap to use.
Why do you have to use the News Herald is the question.
It has to be that sort of publication from this.
To reach a certain number of
The election
subscribers.
laws.
well, it's gotta be gotta be the frequency of it, not the number of subscribers.
They're also posted like on the website
Mhm.
under public notices, but that is still an election law that has not been updated. We're working on it.
There's enough election laws.
All right, that's all I have, Your Honor.
Okay. Any
Well,
other
unless there's any
discussion?
other questions.
I apologize. Can you clarify what you just said? It's not the amount of subscribers?
It's not the amount of subscribers, it's the frequency of the publication, so it's a timely thing. So if she's got some election notice to get out, it's gotta be
Okay.
within
Alright.
a certain
Oh,
time frame.
that one's
All right,
monthly.
yeah.
We're obviously, well, the
They
News
have to be
Herald,
posted, I apologize, Mayor. Some of them have to be posted 7 days before the election, some 10 days, some 48 hours. So it's more convenient to put
Yeah.
things in that type of.
so all 12 people who get the News Herald will get the notification.
One more thought is, I know it's a feel-good paper and there's a lot of, and people's opinions are published in the paper. Is there any opportunity for opposing opinions to be included in the paper?
I don't know, I'd have to ask.
I would,
I know it's-
I mean, 'cause I read the paper a lot, obviously, everybody knows that, and I have the relationship with Will, which, it's not a secret. I don't know of any pieces, there are no opinion publishes that I know of in the paper. There are no opinion articles, maybe other than mine. But mine is not really opinion. I don't really give opinion. I give, just mine's just a historical, documentation of things that have happened or things coming up. So that's where we get some free promotion there, because I always talk about all the events coming up in my article.
Not the Vision Plan Committee.
Give me some information, I'll make sure it gets in my article, and you won't have to pay for it.
Yeah, that's a good
Did he
point, yeah.
just
No, it is, I mean, because that's,
Yeah.
and we can put your contact information in there and get people, absolutely.
Soon
Yeah.
have a QR code for a survey for the residents, so we'll be sure to
Yeah.
ask for that to be published.
Okay.
That's a great idea, by the way.
Okay,
That was mine, yeah.
special project report,
I think
Jeff.
Rabbits have to work.
I just got one.
Sorry, Dave.
Yeah.
You said from time to time, we do go over the
Oh, yeah.
allotted amount of
Yep.
pages, which
Yep.
we've discussed that
Yep.
before. There are monthly audits with this new, since we last discussed this, correct? You
Yeah.
look at it.
Oh, yeah,
as
so
you-
I know what's going to him, so I can know if there's 3 extra pages, 4 extra pages, how many. Then I get the bill, and then the paper's printed, because we get billed after the paper's printed, and then accounting, there's a person in budget and finance that actually physically counts. Quarter page, half page, 1 page, tallies that up and compares it to the bill.
Right.
Then counts the school, because we have to build the schools, counts the school pages up and sends that over to them as well with the detail. What page number, what article, and then they turn around and within 2 weeks, they send us a check to pay for their usage.
So I guess what I'm asking is, there is still, because it seems to be a very hot button topic, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
Around.
Sure.
There is still a little wiggle room before we were to hit the baseline price. Correct? You're saying from time to time, we still do go over. So there's still some trimming that could possibly occur without.
Yeah. We would just have to get rid of all the notices of all the programs.
Yeah.
That's how we go over.
I'm just-
9 times
I'm
out of
just
10,
trying to
it's the
see-
programming that goes over.
You just don't publish the recreation programs.
Or the senior programs.
Okay.
Just don't publish it.
That's how you,
That's where the
that would be the
extra
next steps. If you said, hey, the budget is 50 grand and we're only gonna approve
But that-
30 grand.
But we just said that's why we have it mostly.
Yeah. Mhm.
But
Yep.
that, you know, that's a good point. That might be a good test. Say you just pick a month or 2 months in a row, don't advertise any of the senior programs and see if that affects the attendance. Or don't do next month, don't advertise any of the recreation programs and see if that affects the attendance or participation.
Yeah.
One be to test it out.
Yep.
I think
Again,
that would
that-
happen more over time as opposed to just 1 month.
It'd have to be overtime.
And we renew in February, so
Yeah.
I don't know that you have enough time for that
Yeah.
test.
That's true.
I was just curious on the wiggle room element is all.
Yep.
All right.
Okay. Special projects?
Special projects.
Dave Skirdo, you wanna go first?
Sure, thank you. I got a light one. We have the clerk's office issued business licenses to Rowan's Pizza on Quarry Road, and also to Creative Mark Tattoo, which is on the shopping center on the corner of Grange and King. Also, a company called TestCal, they do engineering testing. They got approved to expand their building. They're on 4th Street, just south of Zorba's. So they're gonna put a storage addition in the back.
Mhm.
I heard the pizza place is good. I
Is
had
it
some
good?
friends that went there and they said it was great.
Oh, good.
I second that. Very good.
That's right by your house, right?
Very good people, and I had a pretty good conversation.
The other
They-
place
they
wasn't
have
there
a-
that long.
No.
No, it was
Well, you can get
unfortunate. They were super sweet
By the
too.
slice, I guess was her big draw.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Mayor, may I give some recognition?
Go right ahead.
I'd just like to thank Dave and Mary for their hard work with assisting with the vision plan. You guys have been very instrumental in making sure that we're making progress and getting things that. Thank you.
Great.
One thing.
Yes.
To the chief, what will Halloween hours be for trick or treating this year, since it's on a Friday?
We don't set Halloween hours.
Not at all? Okay.
We'll
So,
we'll get to that on
is
the
there
other
a curfew?
business.
Yeah, the curfew's 10 o'clock. So
Okay.
that's the question.
So let's finish the special projects. Anybody
Okay,
else?
yep. So Ohio.
Good evening, everyone.
Right.
The fountain was delivered to the Vreeland Park and to be installed sometime this week, so that will take us almost to a 99.9% completion of that job. The N. Patriot Park ADA Playscape is under construction.
Oh,
Finally,
good.
they demolished the existing playscape and they're going to be doing a complete pad next. The sectioning project is approximately 80% completed. The lead services replacement is ongoing. The Clark Avenue water main is scheduled to start in early November. And the Dundee, Coaster, and Ray Avenue water mains are under review by Eagle. Of course, we'll do site plan reviews on top of that.
Anything?
questions?
Yeah, I have one.
Okay.
Any, and I should, the dual permit, are we getting close?
We got the dual permit, but Eagle has one item, it's buoyancy, which doesn't make sense. We're fighting with Eagle on that issue. So anytime now.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you, Sohail.
Yes.
Again, a little recognition. I'd like to thank Ohio for continuing to follow through and making sure that the county finished the entrance off of Fort and Sibley, Fort and Kingswood, sorry, and the sidewalk there as well. So that's a
Anytime.
big improvement. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Jeff K., anything going on at the landfill that you need to know about? We're just in maintenance mode, aren't we?
No, just maintenance mode.
Okay.
And just
Yep.
typical annual stuff, that's it.
Yep,
Awesome.
okay. I think that's it.
All right, any other business council wants to bring up? Brian,
You know it.
of course.
First, I would like, again, some more recognition for our IT director, Craig Weiler. He's been helping also with the vision plan, helping find AI tools. Where you at, Craig? Here. Thank you for the help on finding those AI tools. And I did notice you made progress on the YouTube videos. So the hashtagging is working, and those are all now populating into the playlist. I did just want to let you know that there's a few videos from the school board meetings in that playlist. Maybe check those hashtags. And if there's any way of improving the sorting on that, maybe by file name, so it's a little easier to find the videos, that would be helpful. Thank you. So there's that. I don't want to continue.
Carry on. Run.
Just wanted to give a vision plan update that we are still looking for residents that would like to participate. You can reach out to myself or Rita. Dave is the alternate as well. Dave Robbins.
Whatever.
You're peripheral, let's put it that way.
Dealer's choice.
So we're working on a vision plan for the next 15 years for Riverview, how we're going to move forward post landfill and make improvements in 4 different areas of the city. Not areas regionally, but things related to the city. As I mentioned, working on a public engagement survey, again with Dave's office and Mary. We're just working out making sure that we have good data sets that we can easily analyze, so we're changing our tool and hope to have that published in the paper on the website before too long. And one question going through the vision plan, it mentioned an enterprise authority which oversees the development and operation of all city enterprises. Can anybody elaborate what the enterprise authority is?
It's Dave. Which Dave? Nobody knows.
Randy, any-
Well, there's a couple of ways to address that. One of which is, this was a proposal that goes way back, that the landfill should be under the auspices of a separate authority, independent of the mayor and council. That may be what the reference is towards. But again, there's state statutory tools that Dave and I, in fact, are looking into, that we'll report back to you guys on. That could be the scenario. So it could be a local, or it could be a state statutory based authority.
Is it defunct, or was that ever in place, I guess is the question.
Here locally, it was proposed, but I think the source of it, the messenger that delivered it, was not very popular, so it was dead on arrival.
So it's probably something we don't need to look at for the 2040 vision plan?
Well, I wouldn't be that precipitous. I'd give it some thought.
All right, that was it for the vision plan. I just wanted to ask maybe Jeff on Bilbeck on this, on the conceptual design that we had removed from the consent agenda and was going to the planning commission for the revamping of 9 holes to incorporate residential lots, specifically single-family homes. I guess the question is how do we get to that point already when we still have 7 years before the closure? I know you have to make progress because that's going to come quickly, but we're also still working on the vision plan. So how do we come to a decision that we're going to use that portion of the golf course and develop residential homes?
Well, how I came to that plan is I've got to fill a hole for the revenue that the landfill will no longer be making. And to construct a golf course and to construct that residential, it's going to take every bit of that 5 to 7 years. So until you get something on paper, conceptually, you can't even get developers or Eagle to allow you to have compensatory cuts to take water, floodplain management, and wetland mitigation and all of that. So this is currently a conceptual design to get everybody talking, but it would always come back to city council for approval. But if we do nothing and put our heads in the sand, we'll be in the same spot 7 years from now. So the Vision Commission and the Vision Committee is great, and they are looking out, and this should be in their plan, because I already mentioned it, and it is a very substantial thing that the commission should look at, but it will go forward for a vote, because I feel it's a necessity to redevelop the 18 holes in the 9 and get the residential. And without a drawing, they're not gonna draw the streets, the house, or the use, or any of that. They need to draw, what they need to draw is the 9 holes, and then where the streets could come into, where the streets, the egress, ingress, egress, all of that, for a developer to look at some of, oh, the sewers could go here, the streets could go there. I gotta get it moving, or it'll be 7 years from now, and they'll say, hey, that was a good idea 7 years ago, that we thought about a golf course, because the golf course itself is gonna be two years. I mean, the red and gold, it will take 2 years to develop, 18 months if everything goes great, to make 9 holes, 18 holes in the 9. And by this development, they might be, so high up, Dave, the Eagle might be a more lenient on that 38 acres, they say, that's loaded with wetlands, because we can remediate. Plus, I need the dirt for final cap at the golf course, at the landfill. We're not gonna pay $10 a ton when we got all this clean dirt right there at the golf course, so.
At one point, we had talked about taking some of the dirt and making water features for the golf course, and then it just appeared on the agenda that we were moving forward with getting a conceptual plan for taking the whole golf course and then making it residential. So it kind of morphed at some point, but we really weren't involved in that discussion.
Well, the discussion is, we're gonna lay it out and you guys are gonna decide. I don't wave a magic wand and say, this is what the city's gonna do. That's your job. But I have to move it forward, because guess what? It'll sit in some in tray in somebody's office for 7 years if I don't move this.
Right, you
So-
mentioned wetlands as well, right?
Oh, yeah.
Has any study been done on the golf course?
Yes.
Is
Yes.
there wetlands?
There's some, but there could be mitigated.
Okay, do we know how many acres?
No, I can't speak to all the acres, but there is, Ohio, and Jennifer has looked at the topographical maps, and the wetlands are very close to the Frankenpoet, which we wouldn't build a golf course on anyhow,
Okay.
the new golf course.
And the two reasons I bring up the wetlands is because in the prior vision plan, there was supposed to be a wetland specialist that was going to be, working all along through the 2020 vision plan, and we don't have that. So I think that's something that the vision plan is going to continue looking at. And the second point is that one of the obstacles that I brought up, you brought up for the 40-acre sales over where the maintenance shed is that it's a lot of wetlands. So I'm just kind of curious as how we can mitigate the wetlands on the golf course, but it's prohibitive on those 40 acres.
Because we're gonna have compensatory cuts and additional water sheds with a lake, because we're gonna go down very deep to take the dirt we need for final cap. That is a way that Ohio has told me that you can, if you create more water source and create wetlands around that water source, who knows? I don't know.
Could the same be done on the 40 acres? Make a
Oh,
big water
that 40
feature there?
acres, you're talking
Yeah.
about is gonna be encapsulated into this development. The whole idea is, how do we get that 38 acres into that development and build condos there around the golf course and then homes on it, it completely is up for discussion, but I'm moving it forward because I think at the $33,000, it's gonna give developers to look at it and say, wow, I can build in here, we could put 350 homes in here, or we could put 100 condos and then 250 homes in here, or
Sure.
we need the revenue, and that's exactly why we're pushing
100%
this
agree,
way.
and I support, that we're looking at, because as I said, 7 years comes very quickly.
And the decision's made by the decision board. I'm
We're just telling you.
I'm the
to do it.
minstrel that's doing this and getting the people in place to
And
have you
I bring
guys
up the
decide.
vision plan because there's always been the statement, is until we have the vision plan, we can't move forward with things like this. So I was just kind of surprised we're moving forward with things like this and we don't have the vision plan, so.
Well, the vision plan will be very aware of whatever the design comes back. And the design will come back in 3 different ways, I'm sure,
Didn't the
Councilwoman O'Neill.
Bronner Group come up with,
Bonner Group,
sorry.
yes.
Yes, came up with the plan.
Oh, yeah, he'll be in part with the golf course. So Ohio will be there, Sean will be there, Bonner Group will be there, the designer will be there, and we're just gonna throw out, like, so Ohio will know what infrastructure that's needed. You know, how do you get the streets in there, the sewer, the water, all the things the developers want, but they don't wanna pay for? Well, there's ways to finance it. There's grants out there, there's TIFA, there's, you know, TIFA homes, there's grants out there to create, you know, sewer lines, water lines, lights, streets.
I'm so glad you know all the details.
I don't, but I'm learning them as I go. But I have to move because somebody can't say, oh, well, he didn't do anything and now the place is closed and what are they gonna do with, you know, funding these closure costs?
I don't think anybody's saying that, and hopefully you're not taking my.
No,
saying that.
no, but I gotta move.
I'm just,
I gotta move.
I'm just reflecting on discussions we've had during the Bonner Group sessions with stakeholders. Is originally was we don't need single-family homes, and we need more multifamily homes. And I've also saw that in the master plan and other plans that we paid people to develop for us, and then all of a sudden it's like we need single-family homes. I'm just kind of concerned that's not really aligning with what our master plan
Well,
is.
Bonner Group will be involved in that, and other people will be too. You know, there's gonna be nothing that's gonna be final without the information being shared and studied and decisions made by this
There'll be a
board.
lot of public interest and talk about it.
I'm sure. I can tell you that there'll probably be about 30-some residents on Coachwood that is gonna be very unhappy when they back up to a house and not a golf course, but,
Anything else, Brian?
Yes, sir.
yes, David.
Well,
Yeah, I don't wanna
oh,
dominate, so
Let
let me-
Brian finish up.
Okay. We had a great discussion at the landfill committee, and I thank Jeff and everybody else for that. Can we just get a quick update on the progress on funding the landfill closure? I know we had discussed where we're at now with the letter of credit and,
Yeah, well, basically, the letter of credit,
and you don't have to focus on that, but just give us.
well, we have, you know, the state says we need 33 million. I think we have 19 or 20 million in that account right now.
Yeah.
And the difference is we have a letter of credit saying that if we get defunct and we don't operate it in regulatory compliance, they have that money to close it for the next 30 years. However, we are making strides. We're no longer funding any of the general fund. The landfill, I believe Ann made $3 million last year, cash flow.
Woo-hoo.
And there was a journal entry at the end of the year for that closure cost that wiped it away from net income, but we're using all that money, stays back into the fund, and chip away at that number, and if we have 7 more years, and we can do, we should have $20 more million in that account. And then, the idea is, the royalties would help out if they need to be, you know, past what they can, and development back there would help out. I think, Dave, I don't think I worked it with you, I worked it with Eric, our assessor, but it was like $1 million, based on those homes and the values of what new home construction's getting. I think it was like, don't hold me to this, but 1.25 to 1.5 million in annual real estate taxes back there in those units. So that's a huge, huge number back to the general fund.
And also an update on the leachate designs. I think we're 90%, or we're creating a plan that's 90%.
We have a plan that's 30%. We're now reviewing a 90% leachate plan. We haven't signed off on that yet. It hasn't been brought forward to the landfill committee. And I am going up to the state to meet with Eagle on October 28th. We haven't decided yet who's all going, but we gotta go up there and talk about a grant and SRF loan, a low-interest loan to build that plant. But we are not gonna put the city in bankruptcy to build that plant, so the state's gonna help us one way or the other, so.
Thanks for the update. And update on the economic development director that we've been looking.
I sent a message, Dave was copied on that, I think, last week. I sent a message to Jasmine to get an update. She hasn't sent it back to me. She was looking for funding. We were supposed to split that. We may have to just figure out to go out on our own and find one part-time.
Okay.
That's what we're gonna have to do.
Any updates on the consolidated dispatch that we've been looking at?
No update.
And then, lastly, I just wanted to let Mayor Swift know that we were able to work with the police chief for the shredding that we had talked about. A lot of people are, myself and most of the council are working, and it's hard to make the business hours for the shredding. And I'd asked if there was a place that we could put a secure bin that residents could drop off their documents, and then later that would be taken to the shred. And the question, I think, from the rodeo is they would fund the bin, but we would need a place to store that securely. And talking to the chief, he would be agreeable to that being placed in the foyer or, the front of the area in the police department. So if we, I don't know how we proceed, if we want to.
Who did you say would fund it?
The Rotary. You said that on Facebook.
I never said the Rotary would fund it.
Yes.
I'd have to look that up.
Yes. If you find a place, we'll fund it. So I found a
Right.
place.
Okay.
So, that's it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
okay, well, actually, if it's obviously within reason, absolutely, I think they.
It's just a bin, I mean, those are $120, right? You Put a
Okay.
lock on it and cut a hole in the top, so.
If I
we'll
said
have-
it, we'll do it.
We'll have to figure out if it gets so popular that it overfills, what we do with one bin, or how we give her, maybe we have an interim shredding where they come and pick that up.
And so who would empty it, and at what point does it get empty?
That's what I was just saying, it would, hopefully it wouldn't get full, and then it could just be taken over to when we have our shred day, right? But if it's.
Once a year.
Once a year, right. But if it gets so popular that it's being filled, then we'd have to obviously do an assessment from there. It's just an idea, I mean, it could be poo-pooed or whatnot.
Unless you consolidate dispatch and there's no one in our police department, think about that.
True. But it still would be a police department with a locked bin. I mean, who's gonna go in there and try to?
Nothing.
Well, they could only.
It's a
get-
valid point, don't.
But I think they could only get in if they make a phone call though, right, chief? And somebody would meet them there to open up the door then, so.
Our lobby
So
would
you're gonna
still
get
be-
that call to come drop your shred in there?
Yeah.
No, our lobby,
Think it through.
it would still be open.
Yeah, it would, okay.
Wouldn't be manned unless there'd be a phone inside when you.
Oh, okay, I thought the phone was outside. My misunderstanding.
We're ways off from that, so
Okay.
that's it, thank you.
Real fast, and it's getting late.
It's 10.
10 o'clock, I hope not. No, I just wanted to, as far as the vision committee goes, Councilmember Webb, Councilwoman Ganaga, I'm the alternate on there, but that's, I've attended a few, and it's great to see the residents when you come out. I would say to any future people looking forward to stopping in, it's not really just a badge or a credential. There's a lot of legwork involved, and they've been running very thin, just as a third-party outside member, having to weigh it all on their own shoulders, and that's not really the point of this. It's two people being able to make the decisions. It's gonna have to be a community effort in a community. So there was very, a lot of bullet points that you had laid out, and there's just something for everybody. So if you want to get involved, I think it's a great idea. It's just, it's going to take a village, not, it shouldn't be dumped on two people who work full-time as well. That's all I wanted to say.
But if you take it, there's quite a few people involved. So.
Oh, yeah, no.
We can always use more.
I
It's not
was- I
just
was
the
just-
two of us, but I get your point. Yes, and thank you.
The two heads.
We could always use more people.
Always use more.
Anybody else? Now's the time for public comment. Anyone wishing to address the mayor and council, please approach the podium, state your name and address for the record. Try to keep your comments to 5 minutes. There's no sharing of time and no rebuttals.
How you guys doing?
Yes, sir.
We'll make this short so you guys can get home and watch the football game. Hope you guys could come out tomorrow for the Charlie Kirk thing. Who has the report for the DCC and the Arkema from the land bank? Was there a report generated?
What do you mean,
What kind of report?
Presentation.
Yeah.
Presentation.
Oh, of potential uses for
Yes.
the property? That would be the DCC, that'd be John Diaz.
But have you guys received that yet?
I don't think we got a copy of it, because I think they wanted to make a presentation to all the other downriver areas. I don't know if they completed that yet.
Okay.
Would do ours, right? They said they would come to our city and present, didn't they?
They did already.
Oh, they did,
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
That was the one with Jasmine and.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
okay, okay.
How much did the city pay Go Big Media for the 23-24 fiscal year?
I have to look it up.
It's on the agenda tonight, right? That contract? I mean,
No.
you guys don't have that right now. How much?
We have what we have, what the contract is. I don't know, do we have what we've paid total
No.
from 23, 24?
No, I'll have to get the total.
Okay, and you'll share that with
Sure.
the council?
Yeah,
Um,
if they request it, you bet.
pardon me?
If they request it, you bet.
Okay. When it comes to I went back and watched the video of the last time you guys talked in January of 14th of 2024 with I'm glad this was run differently. When it comes to Go Big Media, you guys have till February to decide. I understand what you guys have talked about today, about senior citizens and all of that, but we have to also look at the future. You have AI now, social media. Technically, I guess I'm a senior citizen, but with having parents that are senior citizens, they work the internet better than I do. So, I mean, there was a time when we had a phone booth pretty much on every corner. We don't have that now. So you need to look at that stuff. There was good discussion tonight about that, but if you use our IT, and being in your seat at one time, I know that IT is stretched thin. Contact the college and ask for interns. Get them in here to start doing that stuff. They're getting ready to go in that field anyways. You know, even with marketing, get some marketing people in here. It's an intern, you're not paying for that. When you guys do go to a vote, you know, we've had the city app. You got rid of it because there wasn't enough subscribers, I think is what it was. But you have the city app, you have cable TV. Most people don't have cable TV, but when we're talking senior citizens, I think a lot of them still have cable TV. You have the YouTube channel, which has improved drastically. The city's YouTube channel is getting a lot of momentum. I looked, when I was sitting back there, there's people commenting on this meeting on YouTube. You have social media, and then you also have the city website. The meeting that I watched earlier today, when you guys discussed this, you were talking about the website needed a big upgrade. Has that been done since January 14th of 2024? Yes, it has. But is there more room for improvement? And then when this comes to a vote, Andy, are you going to abstain from the vote?
Why would I abstain from the vote?
Well, you said tonight you and Will do have a relationship.
I have relationships with half the business owners in this city.
Well,
He's just one of 14, 15 of them.
okay. But how many of those were in your campaign meetings like Will Evans?
I don't know. Well, right.
I just think that's a
They weren't part
conflict
my
of it.
campaign. I have no financial interest in the Go Big Malta meeting.
No, I understand that, but
And so
when
Randy,
he's,
if I did, I would have to
The
abstain,
charter
correct?
requires you to have a financial interest
Yeah.
in something to require your abstention.
So-
and I'll go back and read the charter,
Yeah.
but if he's in your campaign meetings for your last election, I really think you should kind of abstain from the vote.
Our charter doesn't allow you to abstain unless you have a financial,
Only financial.
yeah,
So he has to vote.
that's the way I recall it.
I just
Look
think,
it up again, but
okay.
off the cuff, that's what I recall.
I mean, well, you're right. You have 15 relationships with other businesses, but they weren't all part of your campaign meetings.
I'm not gonna say he wasn't at my campaign, and he certainly was, because we use them for feedback on the best places to advertise, which I thought the paper was a great avenue. What types of readers they have, you know, who looks at the paper types of things. So I would think it makes sense to have anybody in each one of these different worlds part of my campaign.
All right, well, just a personal thing, I would go back and watch some videos where, when that was going on, you said that wasn't happening. Yes, have a good night.
No, just so we're clear, what did I say wasn't happening?
That he wasn't a part of your campaign.
Well, he was, as most people are, you get input from tons of people. He wasn't active in my campaign. I used him as a reference for input and those types of things.
If that will help you sleep at night. You guys have a good night.
I will sleep at night, thank you. Anybody else? Ryan?
I just wanted to ask, Chuck, can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
And with all respect, so you were on council before, and the last contract you voted in favor of it. What's changed between now and then?
Technology for one, and when it comes to it, unless you guys are no longer in a crisis, like you talked about on the 14th of January of 2024, there's wants and needs. The way technology is now, I really don't think, like Jeff said, you are going to have some, but it's not just a thing. You can't even tell us as residents what you paid for 23, 24. You guys should know that.
They do know that. It's in the budget. They get a budget book and they get a quarterly financial statement, so they know.
But that
am I gonna-
1376 that you guys are talking about, that's 1376 a month?
Mhm.
Okay. If you take that divided by 12, you know, I think you're paying a lot more than
And you
that.
multiply it by 12, I think is what you do.
Yeah.
So, but, and like you said, it still comes, I don't know, we're done, it's.
It's all the additional pages, of course.
Brian, I will continue to have this conversation with you.
Anybody else? We're done, thank you, everybody.